body, morning, lovely people. It is currently 1:51 a.m. and I'm going to be starting the 24-hour readathon challenge. So you have probably seen this challenge floating around all over. It is super popular and I feel like every booktuber has done it at this point, and I love it. I love watching the videos. So, oh, my dog's just entered. Hey. I love watching the videos and I thought I really want to just try it on my own, see if I could potentially complete this challenge. Who knows? As you're probably wondering, why are you up at 1:51 a.m, Lily? That is because I saw Destiny Sidwell do this challenge, and she actually did it where she woke up at like midnight, 1 a.m. kind of time and read. She started it then because I feel like the reading through the night is like the hardest part of the challenge, so to get that out of the way first when you're the most awake is like a big helping hand, you know what I mean? So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be reading until when I start the timer, but 24 hours in the future. There is many ways to do this challenge. I know that some people do it over 2 12-hour increments. Some people stop the timer when they want to do things. Some people just read for 24 hours straight. Because it's my first time, I don't want to go too hard on myself because obviously I'm just a girl, just try my best. So I'm not going to pause the timer when I do little activities like, you know, like get a shower, walk my dog, things like that. Like, I'm not going to pause the timer. I'm just going to keep doing my thing, and I'm going to read within 24 hours, see how many books I can read, see if I can stay up for that long, that kind of thing. But I don't think I'm gonna like read for 24 hours straight, like do nothing else, just read. I don't think that's possible for me at this point. So with that being said, I'm gonna start my timer, choose my first read. I'm thinking a Kindle read right now. I think Plan of Attack Variety on the Kindle is charging. I don't know why I just tried to do that. Yeah. I'll speak to you a lot more in the morning when I can actually speak at normal volume, because I'm not trying to wake anyone up in the house right now. Nobody wants that person. So I'm speaking kind of quiet. I apologise. Without further ado, let's get into the video. The first book that I'm going to choose is Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman, because I've been really intrigued by it for quite a while, and it's on Kindle Unlimited. I actually read Older by Jennifer Hartman a little bit ago, didn't enjoy it too much, but Jennifer Hartman's stands are stands, like they love her writing, and this book gets a lot of love, so I really want to try it out to see if it lives up to the hype. Guys, how do people do this challenge and speak at normal like volume at this time in the morning? Like, if I did this, my whole house would genuinely wake up. Like, if I spoke at normal volume, I don't even want to know. Like, guys, my house would be so annoyed. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'm having to whisper over here. We are now 2 hours and 8 minutes into the challenge, and I've read my first 100 pages. It has taken me so long to read these 100 pages. Like, guys, the way that I was reading so slow, my eyes were literally like this. Like, I was battling off the sleep. I was just desperately trying not to fall asleep. I don't know why. And like, honestly, I think it was just because it was like still dark outside and my brain was like thinking, this is night time, you need to be asleep right now. So I literally, yeah, I was struggling. It's taken me a while to read the first 100 pages. Not gonna lie. It's currently 5:39 and I am 150 pages into. If you can hear that sound, that is literally my dog like picking her bowl up and chucking it about because she's like, I want my breakfast now. Yeah, Queen is literally not having your breakfast time yet. So I'm 150 pages into Still Beaten by Jennifer Hartman. I'm actually officially 50% of the way through it. This book is wild. This book is wild. Like, the plot, what has even happened in this first 50%? My brain is not all here right now. What has even happened in this first 50%? Like, girl. Guys, the romance is literally between a guy and his fiance's sister. Okay, so I'm reading it really slow because I'm honestly so tired. Like, I'm hoping that it gets better. Like, I get better in this challenge from here on out because I feel like 2 a.m. till like morning was probably going to be the hardest because it's dark. It's like I feel sleepy and no one else is up, so it's literally just me, myself and I down here. Sorry, yes, me, myself and Cindy. Yeah, so I'm hoping that I get better at it because I've been reading like at a snail's pace. Like at a snail's pace. Okay, she's just trying to have her moment. I'll get you breakfast in a minute. So yeah, I'm reading so slowly, but I'm hoping to finish this by like 8 a.m. and like get the first book done by then. I will explain the synopsis after I've finished the book. I'll fill you in on what this book is about. No spoilers. No spoilers though. No spoilers. I also don't know if I said, but I did actually take a nap from 8 p.m. till like 1 a.m. So I have actually slept. I'm not just going off of like 48 hours no sleep. I have slept. I had a little nap in that time, if you can call that a nap. An extended nap. But yeah, I'm not really a dark romance reader, and I think this is dark romance. So it's a little different for me, and I'm not going to give too much away about what I think about it. As soon as I finish this book, I'm going to fill you in on my thoughts and feelings, because, guys, Jennifer Hartman's books, the plots, they're actually wild. So I'm going to read some more now, try to finish this book, and I'll get back to you after. But I'm not doing well. I'm tired. I low-key think that I might go on a hot girl walk and read when it gets a bit more of an acceptable time. I am now on a walk. It is currently 7:15 a.m. obviously, and I've got 50 pages left of Still Beaten by Jennifer Hartman, so I don't have much left at all. I'm 84% of the way through. We're sitting at around 5 hours in, so it's taken me like, probably when I finish it, like maybe like 5.5 hours, something like that. Not gonna lie, I'm reading really slow. I don't know if I've loved this book. I kind of expected to love it because everyone kind of like raves about it and they're like, yes, Still Beaten by Jennifer Hartman, it's so good. So I was like, I feel like I'll love it. However, I don't think I have. It's been, I don't really know. Honestly, the plot is wild. Yeah, I'll update on my thoughts when I finish it in a little bit. I will say though that it is really nice to be outside right now, especially because it's so early. I feel like it's just making the most of the fresh air, and it definitely is a nice change of pace than being sat on my couch reading, because it kind of got a little bit boring. So it's quite nice to be like actively doing something whilst getting some reading in. So I'm definitely enjoying this. This is making it a lot easier and I feel way more awake for going outside and like being in the fresh air. So I am enjoying it. And it's actually not a bad day today. At least it's not raining, because I feel like that would really dull my spirits. I got one of them phone cases that have like the sticker thing, like the Octo Buddies. So you're currently on the door. That is just so cool. So I've just finished Still Beaten, and it's taking me like 5 hours 40 minutes, I think. That's where we are on the timer. I don't know what I'm gonna rate it. I think I'm gonna have to just like think on it and then just insert my rating, because I'm sitting between somewhere like amongst the realms of a 3, 3.5, 3.75 to a 4. I just don't know. I went into it with really high expectations because it was a good book. It's just that it wasn't, I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. Yeah, this is my second Jennifer Hartman book. I read Older by her, which I rated 2 stars. So I don't know. I don't know. Guys, I don't know. So I'll explain what it's about. It's basically about 2 people. You have oh my god, what is his name? I've just read it. Girl, you've just read it. I'm at a total blank. Wait, I've just read this book. Why can't I remember their names? Dean. Yeah, okay. So you've got Cora and Dean, and Dean is engaged to Mandy. They've been together for like 15 years, childhood sweethearts. My voice is really like croaky right now. I apologise. They've been together for ages. And then you have Mandy's sister, younger sister I think, Cora, and she's kind of always had like a rocky relationship with Dean. They've never really liked each other. It's kind of like a hate relationship. They're always pulling these crazy pranks on each other and making each other's lives like kind of hell, not gonna lie, like, yeah. So they never really liked each other. They don't really like spending any time together. They don't like being in the same room together. Like, it's just not a vibe. One day they're out for Mandy's birthday and Cora needs a lift. So she's like, who can I call? My only option is Dean. So she calls Dean. He comes to pick her up, and then on their way home they basically get kidnapped by someone. They get kidnapped and the story goes from there. So it follows like their journey of being literally kidnapped. Like, is it kidnapped if they're not kids? Captured? They're captured. So they're captured and they're literally being held hostage. So, oh, the fridge has just turned on. So they've been held hostage, and it kind of follows like their romance from there, which is a crazy place to start a romance. Like, yeah, wild. Like, this book was genuinely wild. It was insane. And I don't know, because like honestly you are thinking like, wait, like sister's fiance, like it's her sister's fiance. You're like, how is that going to be a romance? I can't root for that. But you find yourself actually rooting for them, which is just crazy. And I think, you know, the way it was told was like, it was well done, and I do like Jennifer Hartman's writing style. It's just that I feel like in some places there was like maybe little bits missing, and I didn't fully love it. I wasn't like fully invested in the characters for some reason. I felt a little bit disconnected, which just happens sometimes. It's not really the book's fault, it was maybe just my fault. I don't know, because I do like the writing style, and I do find myself being able to read her, like sit and read it. Like I can binge Jennifer Hartman, but do you know what I mean? Like the way that she writes is very bingeable, and I do enjoy that. I would honestly compare the writing style to Megan Brandy, maybe. It's a little bit Wattpaddy, but I don't mind that at all. I do quite enjoy that writing style. Yeah, I don't know guys. Don't know my rating. I have to think on it, I think. Yeah. But that was my first book of the video. I'm going to pick my next book now and get on with reading it. I honestly don't know what I'm feeling. I'm kind of feeling a Frida McFadden book, because hers are so fast paced and they always have me like so I feel like that would be a vibe right now, and there's a lot to choose from her backlist, so I'm thinking I might choose one of hers. I would also just like to add a quick warning, a quick trigger warning. Please check the trigger warnings for this book, because it is very, very heavy and it deals with a lot of heavy issues, and it's definitely very dark. A lot of the themes are very, very dark, so don't go into it lightly. Just check out the trigger warnings if you feel like you need to, and bear in mind that it is a darker romance story. Update time! I am now about 7.5 hours in, just a bit over that actually, and I've started my next book, which is The Housemaid is Watching, which is actually the third like Frida McFadden housemaid book. It just came out and I completely forgot that it was out, and I was like, why not read it right now? Honestly, I've not seen a lot about this book like on TikTok or anything, so I don't even know like people's reviews. I've genuinely seen nothing. I've gone into it a bit blind, and I'm not a thriller girl. I'm getting a bit more into thrillers now, but like I really haven't been a thriller girl. But I did really enjoy the first two in this series, which is kind of crazy that there's a whole series about it, honestly. But I did enjoy the first two. I actually rated the first one 4 stars and the second one 5 stars. So I'm interested to see what I will rate this third one. Is this like the final one? I'm not sure. So far, right off the bat, I will just say I am reading this so much faster than I read Still Beating. Like I am flying through this and it doesn't even feel like a chore. Like it doesn't feel hard to fly through. I'm just like, I'm enjoying it. I want to keep reading. I just love Frida McFadden's writing style. Like the way that she writes, it just like has me captured in the story. It's like so easy and it doesn't feel boring and it doesn't feel like a chore to pick up. I really do enjoy it. And to say that this is like the third in a thriller series, and I don't even really like thrillers, and I'm still so entertained, is a really good sign. But I will say, like, compared to Still Beating, I'm enjoying this way more, and it's making it way easy for me. Like when I was reading Still Beating, I did feel like I was gonna fall asleep multiple times. Not because it was bad, I think it was just like I don't really know. Something about it was just making me not want to pick it up at some points, and I was getting a bit sleepy and a bit bored. Whereas this, I'm finding it really easy to get through, and like where it would take me probably like 20 minutes to read 10 pages in Still Beating, it's taking me like 10 minutes to read 10 pages in this as a little like scale of things. So I'm gonna carry on reading it. I don't know how much I can tell you about what it's about because it is a series, and even though they don't necessarily link too much, the time frame does, if you know what I mean. It's like the first one starts then, like they go on as she gets older, and it kind of like goes on throughout like time. So like, yeah, the events don't necessarily link in each book, but yeah, I feel like you should probably start with the first one instead of just picking one at random. So I'm going to read a bit more and then see what I can tell you, and yeah. Why are thrillers low-key so stressful? Especially the housemaid ones. Like, Millie cannot catch a break. She can't catch a break, honestly. There's always something going on for her. Whew. Yeah, it's like at the housemaid series, trilogy, whatever it is, everything that happens, I just find myself, I'm always like, oh, like, don't do that. Like, you know when you're annoyed in a thriller because the person is saying something but no one believes them? It's like giving me that vibe right now. Just to quickly tell you about like the plot of this book, it is obviously the third one in the housemaid series, but from what I'm gathering from reading it, I've literally got like 50 pages left. It is really not linked to the others. Like, she'll mention events from the others as if we've never heard it before, if you know what I mean. So I do feel like you could actually go into them without reading the others. I mean, I would recommend reading the others just because you get a bit more backstory, but if you really don't want to, then you could read this on its own because, yeah, you know. So this book is basically about Millie, and she's moved to kind of like a suburban style town. She's got like a family house and she's ready to live a normal life. She's just bought this nice farmhouse type thing, and she's just ready for drama free. Do you know what I mean? Drama free. So she's living there, and it's down a cul-de-sac with two other houses which are her neighbours, and basically it kind of just develops from there. I'm not going to say anything more because I feel like you should go into a thriller blind because it's honestly more fun that way. I will say it did start off really good. I think it's currently getting a little bit like losing me a little bit now, and I don't know why. I'm definitely not loving it as much as I love the second one. It's losing my attention just a little bit, yeah, but I'm still enjoying it. I am still enjoying it, and I do really like the housemaid like series. I think it is entertaining and enjoyable. I've just checked the timer as well. I am 12 hours into the challenge, so we're halfway there. Also, the bags under my eyes are a clear sign that I'm doing this, like, great. Maybe it's got my attention again. Because I did not see that plot twist coming. I thought I did, but I was just so slightly off. I'm taking a yoga break because it's actually detrimental to my mental health right now. Like, I need to zen out. Yeah, I need to stretch. I need to do a bit of yoga. Alright, I need to take a break from looking at my Kindle screen because it's actually giving me a headache, even though I have it on dark mode. Like, no thanks. No, thank you. So I'm just gonna do a really quick review of The Housemaid is Watching because I've finished it now. Just gonna quick fire my thoughts. I'm gonna rate it like a 3 stars, maybe 3.5 stars. I'll put it on the screen because I really loved the first 2 housemaid books. They were like 4 and 5 stars for me. This one just didn't really compare. Like, the plot was a bit dry in places compared to the other 2, where it was like constant events happening, always on your toes, super fast paced, and like couldn't put the book down. This one felt a bit flat in places. That being said, I did still really enjoy it because I love Frida McFadden's writing style. I love the Housemaids like series trilogy type of thing, and honestly, like, it is fun to keep up with what is going on in that kind of, not world, because it's literally just the world, but you know what I mean, like the characters, what they're doing. So in that respect, I did enjoy it. And honestly, like, because I think if you were to read this as a standalone and just go straight for the third one, I don't think you would enjoy the series to its full potential. If you read this one on its own and you just went straight for the third one, I don't think that it would be as enjoyable. I think it would kind of make the series seem a little less good than it actually is. It wouldn't seem as good as it actually is, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I did think that it was a little bit dry in places. However, overall, it was still good. So if you have read the first two books and you're wondering whether you should pick up this new one, then I would say go for it, because it is a short-ish, like 350-page thriller, and obviously if you're a fan of Freida McFadden, then you probably will enjoy it, because her thrillers are always a hit for me. I'm not a thriller girly, but I do like her thrillers. Hey girl! Hey! She's my reading buddy today. She's stayed up for the full 24 hours with me. No, she hasn't. No, she hasn't. Also, an update on the time. I think we're at 14 hours now. And also an update on how I'm feeling. I'm feeling fine. I knew I would feel fine during the day because I'm not a napper. I never nap. Like, if I can get through the night time, then I'm fine during the day. It's time to choose my next read. So, I don't know what I want to read because I don't know what vibe I'm in the mood for. I'm feeling like I should pick something not too long so that I can hopefully finish it in the last hours of the challenge, because I would like to have read 3 books. I feel like that number is satisfying. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know what I'm feeling. This is the tough part, you know? I'm kind of feeling like reading Broken Bonds by J. Bree. It's like a fantasy. That one's been on my radar for like a couple of years now, honestly. So I could read that because I don't think it's too long. Let's actually check the amount of pages in this one. Honestly, at this point, this challenge has turned into my version of it, which is literally just how many books I can read in 24 hours without sleeping. But I have not been like reading straight, like I have been doing other activities. I don't know what to read right now. Like, that is actually my number one thing. Also, my Kindle stickers, they're here, there and everywhere at this point. They're all over the place. I do not know what to read. I'm struggling. I just don't know what I'm fancying. I might read the second book in the Stars and Shadows series by Holly Renee. I think that's what it's called. The second one is A Kingdom of Blood and Betrayal. Yeah, it's the Stars and Shadows series, because I read the first one not long ago, like genuinely last week. So, or this week. Yeah. So I might read the next one because it's quite fresh in my mind, and honestly, it kind of ended on like quite a cliffhanger. And I did really enjoy that book because it was really fast paced, and it's quite short as well. It's only 274 pages. So I feel like I might read that right now. I'm kind of excited for that one. Okay, I'm gonna read this one. Yeah. So if you didn't know what, just quickly, if you didn't know what the Stars and Shadows series is about, it is about a girl who is born with like the magic of stars in her blood, and that enhances the Fae's powers. So if the Faes feed from her, like kind of like vampire vibes, then their powers are enhanced and they can become like the most powerful in the kingdom. So the main character in this has that, and she is going to be like really vital to the kingdom because their powers have diminished over the generations, so they need her to make them stronger again so that the vampires can't overrule their kingdom and overtake the Fae ruling. So she's like a vital part, and she's been betrothed to the prince since she was born because her mother made a deal with the kingdom. Basically, the mum would get money if she gave up her daughter. So yeah, the daughter, basically, when she comes of age, she moves to the kingdom to be the next queen and marry the heir to the throne. However, her kind of love interest turns out to be his brother. He's like half brother, so it was like a whole thing, and it was really enjoyable. So I definitely recommend it if you're looking for something like quick, fast paced. It's actually the author of the Veiled Kingdom, which is super popular right now. So I'm going to try the second one because there's only 4 books in this series and they're all very short, so I would quite like to get through them. So maybe this is the perfect time. I think that's what we're going to go for. We currently have 20 minutes left. What? Why did I just say that? We've done 20 hours on the timer, which means we have 4 hours left. It's not happening. It's not happening. Quite frankly, no. I'm going to bed. I'm just so tired. I've just finished the 3rd book of the day, so basically I finished 3 books within like kind of 24 hours, which I've been putting the books down a lot, so I've definitely not been reading the whole way, but I'm still impressed. Like 3 books in a day, I'm kind of proud, so I'm fine with that. I've tried my best, my first attempt, and I don't envision myself staying up for another 4 hours. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm really tired, so I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna tell you what I thought of the 3rd book tomorrow. I'll round everything off tomorrow, but for now, good night. Hey everybody! So I actually forgot to film an outro. It's now like 3 days later, but better late than never, am I right? So I did forget to give updates on the 3rd book that I read, which was A Kingdom of Blood and Betrayal. I think I'm going to settle on like 3 stars for that one because it was good and it was enjoyable. It was a fun time. However, it was nothing like special crazy. I'm probably not going to think about it again, not going to lie, but so far that has kind of been the case for the entire series. I mean, I've read the first 2, the entire series. Anyway, but I just think that these books don't necessarily have like any lasting effect on me, but I do have a fun time whilst I'm reading it, if you know what I mean, which, hey, that is fun. Not every book is going to have a lifelong effect, and that is fine. So I did rate that one a 3 stars, and if I was to give it any criticism, it would be that too much of a lust-based relationship. The characters, honestly, like, I do not believe that they actually love each other. You cannot tell me that the characters in that book actually love each other, because they have like 5 conversations throughout the whole series, and it feels just every other chapter we're getting spice and we're getting no emotional connection, no emotional development in the relationship. It's all just completely lust based, and that's not my favourite thing, because I like to see a connection between the characters. So that was one thing that I was kind of getting a bit fed up of, because it felt like we was just constantly, you know, every other chapter it was and again and again, and I was like, ooh, getting a little bit bored here, getting a little bit bored. So that is one thing I will say. But the world building, it's very easy to digest. It was really fun and quick and easy, and did enjoy like the whole kind of like overall plot. I like that there's a bit of vampire in there mixed with fae, mixed with human. Like it's a very fun time, and I would recommend it if you're just looking for like a quick read. So I did fail the 24-hour challenge, but on the silver lining side of things, I managed to read 3 books in a day. So I'm okay with this. I'm okay. I think next time I do it, I might try out a different method, maybe do the 12-hour thing, see how many more books I could read and if I could read for more consecutive amounts of time. But for right now, I did fail. So I'm gonna love and leave you here. This is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, thank you very much. And like, comment, subscribe, because it really helps me out. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.